Welcome to Game Hero Studios. I'm Caleb, and today I'm going to share with you guys a dozen or so tips that I picked up along the way in Photoshop, just from my own experience, that have completely sped up the process and just made using Photoshop a lot more enjoyable. So we're going to jump into Photoshop right now and start working on some more assets for my current project, Ratsplat. All right, here we go. So I wanted to quickly show you guys some of the assets that I've been making for the game Ratsplat. This is the style that I've been going with, and these are just some, not necessarily the finished product of the things that I've been creating. Still some doctoring up to some of them that needs to happen, some shading on some of them, and the bottoms of these things need to be faded out for the environment. But I wanted to show you guys that so you could determine whether or not you wanted to stick around and listen to the tips. All right, so here we go. So tip number one is always have your left hand at the keyboard. It is extremely important. If you want to move quickly while you're creating something in Photoshop, to always know the hotkeys. We're going to go over a bunch of those hotkeys in just a minute. But having your hand here allows you to quickly select things, duplicate things, and just switch your tools around a lot faster without having to drag the cursor over to the left side of the screen or wherever you may have your tools docked. So these are the assets that I made on my tablet and what we're going to be opening up and working on in Photoshop. I've been creating some slime, moss, and mushrooms for the sewer scene that I have in the game. Actually, quite a few sewer scenes in the game. And then my regular scenes need flowers. They need some color, pop of color to them. So that's why I created these. All right, here we go. So tip number two is about switching your tools quickly. So the way that I do it is whatever tool that I want, like if I want the paint bucket or the gradient, I tap G. And then if I want to cycle back and forth, I hold Shift and tap the hotkey over and over again. If you want to use your cursor, you can go right up to the tool and right click and it'll give you a drop down menu with all of the different tools. The other way you can do it is hold Alt and click on the tool to cycle. Tip number three is on ways to zoom in and move around. So you can zoom in if you hold Control and you can tap your plus or minus. You can also hold Alternate and use the scroll wheel on your mouse. Now once you are zoomed in, you can pan around by holding space and then simply dragging, click and drag with the mouse in whatever direction you like. You can also hold Control and use your scroll wheel. That'll allow you to go left or right, and if you just let go and use your scroll wheel, you can go up and down. So tip number four is memorize those hotkeys. I cannot stress to you guys enough how much faster you can move in Photoshop when you know the hotkeys and the hotkey combinations. So the very first one that we're going to go over is V, which is our move tool. The next one is M for our marquee tool. The next one is U for the rounded rectangle, W for the wand tool, I for the eyedropper color picker, B for the brush, and with the brush selected you can right hand click on your canvas and that'll bring up your brush selection. Now when you have your brush selected, you can change the size of your brush by simply tapping your left and right square brackets. They will increase or decrease the size. Now another little thing that I've learned from Photoshop is that if I click and I want to create a perfect line between here, all I have to do is hold Shift and click again, and click again, and click again, and click again. I can literally just keep going all over. And this is great for filling in little spots in your canvas that you're unconfident about just freehanding with your brush. So I use it quite often. Now, of course, we don't want this particular thing that I just made on the screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete it. We're going to get rid of it. So we're going to hold Control and tap Z. And if that'll take us back one step. If we want to continue to go back, we need to hold Alt and then tap Z over and over. And if we want to go forward, we hold Control and Shift and then tap Z, and that'll go forward. But of course, we just want to get rid of it. So here we go. Let's get rid of that. Tip number 5 is on how to use your selection and your transform. All right, so right now on this flower, the stigma or pistil is a little bit too close and I want to raise it up. So I'm going to select that layer, then I'm going to hit my marquee tool. I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer and I'm going to select this part of the flower. Now, if I want to move this part of the flower around, I need to tap V. And then these transform controls will show up around it and I can nudge it around either using my arrow keys down here, or I can simply click and drag and move this piece around. Now, to finalize where it is, we hit Enter. And then, of course, what we want to do is deselect. So Control and D to get rid of that. Now what we want to do is we want to select this piece right here. So we're going to use L, the polygon lasso tool, and we're going to select around this piece because I want to make sure that we just get exactly what we're looking for. All right, so now that we have this, we're going to transform it. So I'm going to hit Control and then tap T. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring up at the top of the screen the ability to warp. So now I can grab this and I can move it up in whatever direction I want. I can bend it, mold it, whatever really. So we'll do that and we'll keep on stretching it until we get to the top where we want to go. And then of course you can change however it looks like that. And you can also simply just change that with using your polygon lasso to carve out whatever you're looking for. All right, so tip number 6 is on how to quickly duplicate an item. So all you do is you select the item and you hold Shift, you hold Alt, and you're going to see that your cursor changes to having a black one and a white one underneath it. So all you do is you click when that is up and you drag, and then when you release you have the next duplicate. Now the next tip after that is on simply using Shift, because Shift is such a powerful key in Photoshop. So if I hold Shift and I grab my item, I click on it, I can go left or right and it won't let me go any other direction. Now if I hold Shift and I go up and down, it'll keep it along the Y-axis, just like it kept it along the X-axis when I was going left and right. And now also, if I hold Shift and I want to scale this item, I can scale it uniformly very easily by using that. And also we can rotate it in 15-degree increments. So it'll allow you to change the angle if you're looking to get anything from 0 to 90, 180, whatever, really quickly by holding Shift. And all right, that is the last tip that I have for now. So if you guys enjoyed the tips that I gave you, shoot me a like, comment, or subscribe. And of course, I will see you guys in the next one.